Meaning that I am, I'm open, I'm a loving person.
Yeah.
And when I love you, when you my girl, you my girl.
Yeah.
I ride with you.
Same.
Whatever you want to do, we rolling. But the thing is that the funny part is I have boundaries in a lot of other spaces and places. It's because as you grow and elevate, you have to make sure that you're safeguarding the healthy you, the you who are saying things, the you who are requiring reciprocated relationships. You have to be. So that's kind of like what I'm kind of going through at this time. But it's another level of boundaries that I have to put in place.
Yeah, I'm like you. I don't have a problem with boundaries. I never did equate those boundaries with friendships, because when you're my friend, I love you hard. We good. I'm coming. You got me. I got you. There is no boundary. Like, I'm there. What you need. But in this season, because God has been dealing with me for a few years about women. I shared that I didn't really like women. I'm very friendly and loving, but I didn't want to hang around women because I felt like they were catty. And I just had a lot of homeboys, and God began to deal with me in that season. And when I became friends with women closer and building those bonds, I feel like I got softer. But my background is law enforcement. So I come from my personality is very strong.
Right.
But I got really soft, and maybe it was for a reason. I got really soft, and people begin to get away with things that you would have never, ever even tried. And so now I find myself unhappy, not really depressed, but second guessing myself, because I'm like, oh, did I do that right? I'm second guessing everything because I've allowed someone to come in and tell me that's too much without saying it. Right. And now it's like, dang, I done lost who I am. I'm letting people get away with stuff that I don't play that, because I would have never done it to you, is what I always say. You don't understand why it hurt me so bad and why I'm so upset. You know why? Because I would have never had done that to you. So that's why it hurts so bad. So now I'm in that season, like, I'm transitioning.
Right.
And I'm feeling bad for getting back to me, for choosing me.
What's causing you to feel bad? What's putting you in that posture?
I'm still stuck in, or hearing them say, like, you're just so hard. Like, it's just, everything is about you. Or no, it's just, I don't put up with stuff. I'm gonna tell you this from my experience, because, I do have law enforcement background as well. So I understand what that can look like. What you have to be careful is, a lot of times as we grow and we mature and we elevate, people will like to choose certain things about your character to use it to put the lid on your jar. Okay? So I'm in a situation where I'm in a friendship that I'm transitioning out of. And that's the conversation a lot. Oh, you're not sensitive. Or you ain't the sensitive one. I am very sensitive. Actually, I'm more sensitive than you know. Obviously.
The thing is that you haven't given me a safe space to be vulnerable in the friendship. So I keep certain boundaries up with you because the trust haven't been proven yet, if that makes sense. So if I could tell you anything else, I'll tell you to stay encouraged in that space. Don't allow people to use certain characteristics that you may have and try to weaponize it. Don't,
Because to that, what it is that's a characteristic that they wish they had.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
And they tell me that. They tell me, like, oh, I wish I had your strength. I wish, everything about me you wish, but then when I enforce it on you, it's like, oh, you're not sensitive, you're soft, or you're so mean, or you're so quick to cut somebody off. But that was to preserve my peace. Absolutely. I cut you off because I have a history of anxiety attacks. So I'm in the hospital, shriveled up like a prune, and they don't know what's going on with me. All my muscles are shut down. I'm having an anxiety attack because I wanted to say something and I didn't say it. So I kept it inside, and it began to just eat me up. And now everybody out living their life, and I'm in the hospital having anxiety attacks. And that's really how I burst say something. So I began to talk, but now I felt like that muzzle has been coming on me, and I don't like it. And so now it's like, I got to cut you off. I got to get away from you so that I can be me. Right. And that gives me peace and happiness and joy. So,
well, the thing is, healthy friendships, and when you're in that space, when you're in a compatible friendship, there's no discussions about your character. I'm calling you, sis, to check on you, what you need, what you got going on. Let's have lunch today. How's the family? How's everything going? Girl, what you got? How can I support you in this space of what you have going on? That's what the conversation should be. Dealing with friends and dealing with people who have low vibration.
Yes.
It's certain conversations, unnecessary conversations you end up having in that space. Yeah.
That's the reason. Just don't feel guilty, child. Don't feel guilty. The thing is, when you're preserving yourself and you're doing what's in the best interest of you, you know, the byproduct of that just may not be good for the other person, but you know, the end result is good for you. You know, it's you just can't, like, one of the there's an analogy that Tyler Perry used, which was, you know, there's a whatever the highest mountain is in the world. Imagine you gather all these people together and you're like, all right, y'all, we're gonna hike this mountain. And you know, at certain elevations of a mountain, you have to have trained. You have to be able to breathe. Otherwise, you're gonna die. So if you're trying to take people up this mountain that have not done the work,
that's good.
you're gonna kill them essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna kill them, or you're gonna come back and you're not gonna elevate. So you have to make the choice of it's either you or it's them. And then you also have to be mindful of everybody has not done the work to be able to breathe at high altitude.
Oh yeah,
That is so true.
And you know, the higher you go, everybody can't be there.
And I feel sometimes as women, when you have a pure heart, you know, people take advantage of that. You know, they look at you being humble as a weakness, you know, and sometimes they prey off of that. And what I've learned, you know, I just had to detach from a situation with the female friend that I had. And it wasn't that I felt she didn't support me, but I felt as though when I couldn't give her what she needed, like, for instance, she's a doctor. She's a psychologist, but at the same time, she wanted to be, okay, well, I want to do what you do too. And it's like, come on, Ma. We can all thrive in our own field and still support each other. You're not an actress. You're just not that. You're not a singer. You're just not that. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to sit and give nobody advice on what they should do with their life. I'm going to stay in my lane, but at the same time, we can still elevate each other. When you get to a point to where you're feeling drained, when I get to a point to where you call me and I'm huffing and puffing to even answer my phone, let me cut it.
that's it.
Let me cut it, because you're draining my spirit. And again, your vibration is low.
You gotta care about how you feel about people. You gotta pay attention to the way you feel and the way. I'm cautious when I say the way situations make you feel, because that's something that you can choose to do. You know what I mean? You can choose how you feel about a situation. But when you step into a situation or a relationship and some just ain't right,